Hello, YouTube family. Greg D, aka the DCUO Gingerbread Man, here with another video. Today, what we're going to do as a challenge from fellow DC YouTuber Dark Horus, we are going to make sort of a comparison video, like an experiment video here, comparing pet/precision DPSing, might DPSing, and hybrid DPSing. So, before we get into anything, though, if you guys could do me a huge solid favor, hit that thumbs up button if you like this video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We are working towards 10,000 subscribers. Hopefully by the end of 2025, we will be doing a giveaway once we get there, but I need your help to do so. So anything that you can do, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, would go a huge, huge, long way in helping your boy out, and I greatly, greatly appreciate it. So, what we're going to do for this comparison is we're going to take three of my alternate tunes. They're all fairly close in combat rating. They're all fairly close regarding skill points, and they're all fairly close regarding artifact levels. So obviously we're starting here with Earth. This will be our pet/precision DPS. So the loadout that I show you here in a little bit, you can kind of you can kind of use most of this stuff for any power you see fit, whether that be sorcery. Obviously, some of the powers will be a little different depending on what you actually use. If you don't use earth, you don't use mental, you don't use fire, whatever. But the gist of this is just to kind of try to show you what I've done. So first off, we'll start with, because this is totally precision, you want to make sure that you're getting your cross-weapon combos, aka your what used to be called weapon mastery. So brawling into martial arts is my favorite one. So I have all the points here in brawling. Then you're going to come down here to martial arts, fill out your tree here. Then you're going to come back up to brawling and do that because a tap hold. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? All right, now as far as your stat points go, because this is full precision, we're going to do a point into the weapons expert, critical attack chance, critical attack damage, and then everything else into precision. As far as my iconic powers go, I've got a robot sidekick there in case you don't want to use the crystal or fury for sorcery or anything. Hard light shield, just in case you need it. You could throw the hard light shield in the loadout. Currently, I have the spore pod. If you don't like, this is the newest, most current iconic ability as of filming this video in May of 2025. But you could use the hard light shield just for some extra defense thrown in there. And then I've got the Neo Venom boost as my supercharge. Now, obviously, if you're not using Earth, again, this will look a little different. But we are using God Wave Strength for, this comes from the Source Shard artifact. We are using Reinforce, which is a weapon buff. Again, if you're not using Earth, this weapon buff will be whatever specific weapon buff for whatever power that you're using, rage or gadgets or fire or mental or whatever. We are using the Crystal Golem, which is the pet for Earth. Obviously, we have the Spore Pod, which I just discussed, and then Fortify Golem, which is our extra increased damage here for Earth. Again, this for sorcery, this will look pretty similar, but for any other power, it's going to be a little different. As far as the artifacts themselves, we are using Source Shard Quizlet, which, Quizlet offers you a pet in combat, so you get extra damage, obviously pet. And then we also have Mother Box over here, or in this case, an Alfred Box, and our Henchmen, which are, again, more trinket pets. Once we get the 5 artifact slots, you could throw Mercy in there to help you as well, just because Mercy helps buff your trinket pets. So just something to keep in mind, or something to play around with there. The loadout is pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy. Like I said, because we are precision and because we are going to get most of our damage from the pets themselves, that's what we really want to focus on here. So we'll bust out our Henchmen, we'll bust out our Mother Box, and we're literally just going to clip, clip, and do that, and then we're going to clip, and then we're going to clip, and then power, wait for everything to queue back up, or cool coming off a cooldown. We'll see a lot of burst damage here, but so the only problem is you're basically just waiting for everything to come off of cooldown. So just keep that in mind there. Obviously, too, if you wanted to, this could be power hungry as well, just because you don't really have any points into like precision, or I should say might and power. So if you wanted to, it might be a good idea to have Cyborg as one of your support allies, or put a few points into might and power in the skill trees themselves. So just kind of something to keep in mind there as you roll with, because as you can see, I am hurting for power right here. But again, most of your stuff, most of your damage is going to come from your pets. So just want to keep yourself buffed at all times, keep your pets buffed at all times, and there you go. So I mean, we're literally ranging from, you know, maybe anywhere in this case, because of how low skill points we are, we're ranging from, you know, 2 to 3 million damage in this case. Again, as your artifacts get higher, as your skill points get higher, that's going to be, you know, higher, obviously. But you're just, you know, doing your weapon mastery, flipping everything you can as it comes off of cooldown, and, you know, again, power is the only negative part about this. So if you wanted to, instead of doing just the weapons expert, you could go put your point into hybrid. You could put your point into, I might recommend doing it into the superpower just to get the power regen from it, but you could kind of set yourself up the same way. One other thing I would mention here is for your augments, you probably should go all precision everywhere, especially since you're focusing on the weapon attacks themselves. All right, so now we're going to switch. We will switch to our might. So might will be the easiest one out of all of these, just because you're basically focusing all of your damage on your loadout, your rotation, your, you know, whatever you want to call it there. So we're going to come down here. Where's my girl at? Where's my girl? There she is. All right, so as you can see, we're 449 with this character. 449. This character has roughly, what, 120 skill points maybe. So as you can see here, all of our artifacts, again, right in that 80 to 100 range. I'm using Omega, Trans, and Strat card here. I have everything as far as the augments here is might based. So just keep that in mind. And I think for our skill points, we are 118 strong. So for your might, you basically just want to go super powered, critical attack chance, critical attack damage, and then everything else into might and power. I did put a couple of extra into here, so I mean that's just me being me. But without further ado, let's get over to where our little thingamajiggies are here. Now again, this is what I'm using for mental. You can pretty much use whatever you want depending on what power you are. But essentially the difference here is just going to be you're not using any weapon attacks at all. In this case, I do have the robot sidekick for extra damage on the side. I'm still using the trinket pets, so once you get the 5 artifact slots again, you could throw Mercy in here for the trinket pet help. Also, you will notice, I should say, when using Omega and also certain other artifacts, you do gain a power in your rotation. Obviously, with the pet and precision one, we did Source Shard, which gave us God Wave strength. Omega gives us the Omega beams here. But literally, all we're going to do is we're going to pop, and then I am literally just going to go from left to right. And I'm just going to use... Now I gotta wait, of course, for everything to kind of come off the cooldown. But as soon as they do, we are going to... And then you will see we got Omega. But you will kind of see here that it is much easier to do Might. Now, I personally find Might kind of boring. I mean, yes, it could be technically considered quicker, I guess, because you're not worrying about weapon attacks or anything like that. But as you will see, though, skill points can also play a decent role in your damage, because as you see, we are all similar as far as artifacts. We are similar as far as combat rate. However, the skill points, you know, our Earth character had 50 more skill points. So we were hitting between 2 and 3 million damage. Currently with this, I'm only hitting, you know, maybe 2. Okay, so my highest was like 2.5, 2.25, but we're more so in that 1.5 to 2.25 range. So just something to keep in mind. Now, of course, obviously, we're not using the same power, we're not using the same loadout, so that could have a effect on that as well. But just something to keep in mind. Now, if you do want to go easier, quote unquote, I would suggest, especially if you're just getting back into the game, it might be a good idea to go Might, especially when you're low skill points, just because you can focus more of your skill points on what you need for Might, and you don't have to throw all of your skill points into the weapon combos. So that's just something to bear in mind as well. Let's just see here. So yeah, we're 2 million or so. I mean, there was a 3 million up there. Or no, that was a never mind. It was like a 3. There's 1 million. There's a 1.5. There's a 2. So it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Again, once you get, you know, mental might not be the best power to be showing, just because the biggest thing here is I'm waiting for things to come off of cooldown. And that is the biggest thing like this. I'm waiting for things to come off cooldown, so that kind of slows you up a little bit. So that's just something to keep in mind here. But once you get everything rolling, Might is actually pretty decent. So there you go. All right, so now what we'll do, well, we'll switch over to our fire, aka our hybrid loadout. Oh, by the way, if anybody wants to know what this is, so it's Psychic Prison, Invisibility, Terrorize, Pyrokinesis, Omega, and then the Sidekick. And then once you're in invisibility, basically all I do is hit the ambush buttons here. And then once it pops out back into the normal rotation, you just go back through it. Easy peasy. Alright, so now we will switch over to our fire character, who is our hybrid character. Hybrid will be a balance between the precision and the might. I've noticed when you do go hybrid, a lot of times you still will have a little bit extra might than you do precision. I think that's just how it kind of works its way out, but where is my fire guy? Here's my fire guy. So we'll kind of show you this as well. Actually, I think the artifacts with him might be a little low, if I'm not mistaken. Skill points are about the same. So let's see. So I think this, yeah, so I'm roughly 8. Okay, so I have Omega, Strategist card, Trans card. So you go there. And as you can see, we're kind of like in the 60 to 80 range there, so we're not getting the full benefits of all of the artifacts, unfortunately. And then with here, we have 115 skill points. In this case, I need to switch this over to hybrid, not superpowered, and then you want to go critical attack damage, and then literally balance out precision. Might, once you get the extra artifact slots, and you're up to 5, you could use this, but you could add in Tantu Totem. You could add in, like in the case of this being a tank power, you could add in like the Clarion, for example, or you could add in Mercy again, just for the trinket pet help. So we'll scroll through here. And again, this is just a little bitty experiment here. Nothing, so we're not using anything crazy. Again, whatever power that you have, this will obviously be a little different, but I'll just show you what we're using for fire. So I'm using my power interaction, which is Inferno. Weapon buff, because you do still use the weapon buff because you are using your cross weapon combos there. Spontaneous combustion, wildfire, and I just threw a shield in there as well for myself. Omega is in there. Also, we did the weapon mastery here because with hybrid you do want to go this way. Personally, hybrid is my favorite style of DPSing in the game. Again, I know that a lot of people will tell you might is the strongest one, which is fine. I personally find it boring after a while, so I like having the extra kind of, I don't want to say challenge, but it just keeps things fresh and interesting for me. So we'll pop our boys here. And then literally, much like the pet DPS, we're just going to kind of do our weapon attack flip, into the next power, weapon attack flip into the next power, wait for things to come off the cooldown. Whoops, I didn't hit that right. My bad. I didn't hit that right. And then basically, once Omega comes up, you're going to hit Omega. Flip. My shield, maybe. Thing. So as you can see here, though, too, you're kind of running out of power here. It's the only problem kind of holding us back here. But that can be fixed with skill points. That can be fixed with Cyborg Ally. That could definitely be fixed with some things there. So just kind of keeping things in mind. Personally, I love seeing the burst damage there. Let me pop that coal. Here. I love seeing the burst damage, so. Now, I should probably wait for Omega to turn, like, completely, the thing there, completely red. Got it. But again, it just kind of comes down to what you're looking for, what kind of style you think works best for you. Do you want it easier? Do you want something a little bit more challenging? Do you want to just like kind of delegate all of your damage to pets? I mean, it really just depends on what you're looking for. So, as you can see here, we're kind of in that same realm. I mean, the highest we've hit is what, 2.1, maybe 2 points. Here, let's see. So yeah, we're in that 2 to 2.5 range as far as damage. But again, this is very low skill points. I probably would suggest, especially if you're low skill points, low artifacts, starting with a might build and then working your way up. As you gain more skill points, as you can afford to put more skill points in different areas, then you can try, pet precision. Then you can try a hybrid style. Again, personally, my favorite is the hybrid. It's a lot more fun to me. Keeps things interesting for me, but again, what it comes down to is finding something that works for you, finding something that you have fun with, and finding a power. Now, I'm not saying that you need Earth is the only pet DPS power you should be using. I'm not saying mental is the only might power you should be using. I'm not saying fire is the best hybrid. I'm not saying that. This is just what I'm working with my particular character set. So, I've been rambling here for quite some time, but I hope you guys found this informative. I hope it gives you some ideas of maybe what you want to do, what you want to change up. maybe something you want to try in the future. Again, if you take nothing else from this video, I'm not saying that any of these powers are the best for each particular style of DPSing, but if you're low skill points, if you're low artifacts, I would definitely suggest starting with Might, and then as you build your artifacts up, as you build your skill points up, then you can kind of branch off and try the pet DPSing. You can try the hybrid DPSing. And in this case, in this video, pet DPSing won. But then again, that character is also 50 plus skill points higher than these guys are. And in this case, too, the fire character doesn't have all artifacts up to level 80, so that can make a difference as well. So there you go, guys. Hope you found this informative. I'm going to stop talking now. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more. And until next time, we'll see you soon.